standing over yelling at
Hey guys.
He came over to stand down.
Guys.
This is the end of Jagmeet Singh. Welcome back to Moose on Loose. My name's David, and today's top story here. We had the vote yesterday based on Justin Trudeau's tax relief for 2 months off the GST off of selected items. And what you didn't see with that was the NDP then stormed over to the Conservatives, who heckled them for supporting that and started insulting them, started getting pretty aggressive, got up in their faces, made a big stink in Parliament about this. Jagmeet Singh has come out today with his own video trying to paint Pierre Poilievre as this bad guy when really the gig is up and Jagmeet Singh is screwed. Pierre dropped a post today on X and it's quite clear what his plan's going to be, and Jagmeet is done. His career is over. Let's jump into this. So first off, we got a few updates here. We got some polling from a new poll from Echo's poll here. This question was posed to people: if federal election was held tomorrow, which party would you vote for? You can see all the blue lines, Conservative dominating here. Here's the provinces, 40 versus 26-17. We also got this one coming from Nova Scotia. It says, after finishing counting in Nova Scotia, here are the provincial election results. Landslide win here for the PC party in Nova Scotia. Both the Liberals and the NDP getting decimated. Here's the vote results from yesterday. So these are after everything was tallied. What I showed in my earlier video was the official count from the floor there, but it had not tabulated everything, all the electronic counts. So you can see the Conservatives and the Bloc voted together to vote down Trudeau's motion here, as well as 2 independent, and then you've got the NDP, 25 Liberal, both Green, and 2 independent that supported Trudeau, ending up with 154 versus 182. Now, with this, Jagmeet Singh came out today with his own video, basically trying to save his own skin, trying to promote this as if he's some sort of great leader for supporting Trudeau again. So in Jagmeet's post here, it says, Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative MPs voted to keep the tax on your groceries and kids' diapers, but gave billionaires a tax handout. They don't give a damn about you. That's so rich coming from him.
This is straight up garbage. Pierre Poilievre calls a little tax relief for working class Canadians a tax trick. But when he gave $60 billion to his corporate buddies, he was fine with that. You know what I call it? Bootlicking for billionaires. This is straight.
This guy is like A+ bootlicker, the Trudeau bootlicker. Come on, Jagmeet. How does he even argue this when Pierre's always been saying he wants to cut the carbon tax, which is going to be far more effective at providing relief to Canadians versus just cutting GST off of a few things for 2 months? With this, we've got this guy here posting all these responses there. I think they're AI songs written about Jagmeet.
But his wish list all pension and serving Justin. The stockings are empty, the promise is bare. Trudeau's tax-funded reindeer pulling the hair. Jack sipping his eggnog, no hurry, no race. Counting down days to his pension and grace.
There's multiple of these. Now we can't forget this greatest hit, Pension Phantom.
Floats through Parliament, whispers of hope, but ties himself tight with Trudeau's rope. The confidence votes, the backroom chats. He's a shadow leader with no impact. Every pledge is a wisp of air. Bold change dissolves like it was never there. He talks like a savior, but here's the twist. When it's time to show up, he doesn't exist. Pension phantom gone in the night. Promises vanish like a flickering light. Big talk, no walk, just smoke in the breeze. A ghost of a leader, doing as he pleases. Pension phantom nowhere.
This is hilarious. You guys want to check out this guy's account. He's got pension cash out. He's got the dancing pig. This is hilarious. With that said, Pierre Poilievre has come out with this. It says, I agree with Jagmeet Singh that the Trudeau government is greedy and anti-worker. Now Jagmeet Singh will have a chance to vote non-confidence motion made up entirely of his own words. Will Jagmeet say yes or no on his own words? Jagmeet is screwed. This is absolutely savage by Pierre. Common sense conservative motion, whereas the leader of the New Democratic Party said he ripped up his supply and confidence agreement with the Liberal government. He said that like 45 times, where the NDP leader said the Liberals are too weak, too selfish, too beholden to corporate interests to fight for people. Whereas the NDP leader said the Liberal government will always cave to corporate greed and always step in to make sure unions have no power. In response to the Liberal Labour Minister's referrals to the Canadian Industrial Relations Board to order the workers of Teamsters Canada Rail Conference and the ILWU 514 to resume their duties, violating their right to strike. Therefore, the House agrees with the NDP leader that the House proclaims it has lost confidence in the Prime Minister and the government. This is savage. He's basically using Jagmeet's whole shtick, the workers. He's going to create a confidence motion based on workers to humiliate Jagmeet Singh. And if Jagmeet does not vote for this, his career is over and he is absolutely done. There's no way around this. And not only that, just 19 hours ago, this is Jagmeet Singh standing with workers.
Federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh is on the picket line again, alongside Labour leaders decrying Canada Post after the Crown Corporation began laying off striking workers.
Instead of negotiating, they're doing this underhanded tactic to lay off the workers. This is wrong, and this is an example of bad faith.
The Canadian Union of Postal Workers calls the move a scare tactic.
We think it's shameful. Why are they laying people off when we're on strike? They're not paying us anyways. We think it's just a tactic to try and put fear into our members and scare us into accepting something less than what we deserve.
55,000 post workers have been on strike for almost 2 weeks. Canada Post issued a lockout notice earlier this month and now says the collective agreement is no longer in effect.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
A federal mediator has failed to get the two parties to come to a deal. Singh says his NDP will not vote to force postal workers back to the job.
If they bring any legislation forward that undermines the workers, whether it's back to work legislation or otherwise, we will vote against it, even if it's confidence. I want to make it crystal clear, and I'm very serious about this.
Canada Post says,
What did he just say there? Something about confidence?
Whether it's back to work legislation or otherwise, we will vote against it, even if it's confidence. I want to make it crystal clear, and I'm very serious about this.
Canada Post says the layoffs are temporary. The union says at least 150 postal workers have been given notices.
We've been hearing about more layoffs today, so we don't know the exact number. When we're all spread out all over the place, it's hard to track.
Under the Labour Code, striking workers have the right to return to their jobs after a strike, so long as those jobs still exist. The union is already looking at a legal challenge. There's currently no set plan for the two sides to get back to the bargaining table.
So we've got Jagmeet Singh here saying that he's for the workers. He's going to protect the workers, even if it's a confidence motion. Doesn't matter. Pierre's got one right here for you, big guy. Are you going to vote for it or not? Jagmeet's screwed. With that, during the vote, the Conservatives were heckling and booing the NDP for supporting Trudeau last night. After the vote, the NDP were pissed off and came over and started insulting the Conservatives. This was all caught on camera. I've got two different angles for you. So first up in the video here, before I play it, down here, this is an NDP. I've got her here. Her name is Lindsay Matheson. So she goes storming over to Fergus to complain that the Conservatives were booing them, which I can only assume. There's no audio, but that's what I'm assuming here. So you can see that walk right there, and she's pointing at the Conservatives over here. So she's pointing this way, saying something. She's obviously distraught or something. She's pointing more. There's a lot of pointing, a lot of finger wagging. You'll see in the next video there's audio, like close-up audio. So she's noticeably distraught. So here's the other NDP guy coming over. Why are you so mean to them? Shame on you. So that's what she just said. She comes storming over. She's obviously pissed off. So she's shaking her head. That's where the end of this footage is. But the Conservatives filmed this themselves. We've got this posted by Michael Barrett. It says Jagmeet Singh reportedly forcing his caucus to defend the indefensible through propping up Trudeau is getting to NDP MPs. I should note last night Jagmeet Singh was not in the House. He voted electronically away from the House. And with that, he wasn't able to wrangle his NDP MPs from coming over and coming at the Conservatives. You see last night, NDP MPs came over to the Conservative benches to harass, insult, and intimidate Conservatives. Conservative MPs remained calm, and this video proves it.
Not her. Step right back. All of you.
We can film now.
All of you. Yeah, but you guys don't need to be standing over yelling at
guys.
him. He came over and sat down.
Guys, there's three of them right in front of Michael Barrett. The guy's sitting there peacefully, calmly. Look, what is this?
Why? And he's taking
Yeah?
this in the house. He is taping this in the house.
I can.
No, it's too late. Really?
That's fine.
So she's pissed because she knows he's allowed to.
It's all fine.
He's sitting down.
You're here for another month, and you're gone.
You guys are at his seat. This is my seat. You're right. This is his own seat. And they're telling
Right.
And they're not worth it. He is sitting down. They're not worth it. They're not worth it.
You're here for another month and you're gone.
Here for another month and you're gone.
Ridiculous. Not her. Step right.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is not parliamentary behavior. It's very clear to come up and be like right up in his face like this, 3 of them harassing him. They're starting to snap because they're having to keep bending over and supporting Jagmeet's dirty deal with Justin Trudeau. I think we can all take a guess that some of these MPs don't really support exactly what Jagmeet's pushing forward here. They would rather do what's better for Canadians, but they're all greedy. They want to keep getting those paychecks. They don't want to be the one who goes against the grain and risk their own job, but it's getting to them. They're all starting to snap. Take a look in the comments here. Yeah, we've got more Jagmeet's pension, Christmas edition. So we've got Edmonton. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You basically look up anyone's seat now and they're all going to go conservative. Should have never been allowed in the House. Is Fergus going to do anything about this? No. This dude will never not be creepy AF. All of the House should be on film at all times. That's a good point because I showed you the House feed and it cuts. And I was wondering myself, I didn't put it in my video because I had no idea what was going on there because we didn't see the end of it. Thank goodness these lunatics will be gone soon. Dinner theater performers are so cringe. Name this band. How about the pension pushers? How is this allowed? What have we become? More, show more. Next up, we got Michael Barrett here. It says Justin Trudeau's 2-month tax trick isn't even implemented and it's already a nightmare for small businesses. Implementing GST break for 2 months proving to be a nightmare for some Canadian businesses. So basically they have to reprogram their machines twice. It costs a lot of money. And a lot of products, say if you have a toy store, you have to go through a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, remove the GST. Other toys, don't remove the GST. It's a mess. Probably will cost more to implement that than saving 5%. They have to raise prices to handle this. This is an interesting point. I was thinking about that. Like probably a lot of these businesses will lose money because of Trudeau doing this. And I bet there's no way Trudeau and his team actually looked into this to see if it would hurt Canadians because they've been hurting us the whole time. They don't care. It's just all optics for him. He's a narcissistic pig. And speaking of the narcissistic pig himself, we've got Justin Trudeau here putting on a bit of a performance for the camera here. So he's doing this press conference here, healthy meals for kids. You know, if Canadians could just afford to buy groceries, you wouldn't have to provide school meals. You know that, right? Just check this out.
Actually, just before we get started, guys, you've been standing here really patiently. This is the last stretch of it. Shake out your left leg a bit. Shake out your left leg. Good. Shake out your right leg. All right. Tippy toes up and down. Tippy toes up and down a couple of times. Okay. Shake out your arms. Good. Okay. Okay. Last stretch. This is it. All right. Now we get a question.
Trudeau's a creep lord. I'm going to say it for everyone. We're all thinking the same thing. He's a creep lord. What a creep. A lot of these comments like this, I can't read these. He was handing out friendship bracelets to... yeah. Is he checking to see if any money falls out of those kids? That's hilarious. So next up, we got a clip of him here. I'm not going to play more than a few seconds, but if you listen to the full 49 seconds, he lies about 4 times in this. I'll just cut it off after the first lie. That's, I think, enough for all of us.
This is a challenging time in the world, and I know families are squeezed in a whole bunch of ways, which is why we need to look for reasons to be optimistic about the present and the future. And certainly with inflation finally coming down to pre-pandemic levels, with interest rates coming down as well.
No, they're going back up. So we're going to end it there because you're a liar. Fine him $1,000 for his lies. He goes on to talk about Canada's GDP and our outlook and everything's going to be great and blah, blah, blah. It's the same crap from this guy. It's all lies. What's interesting, somebody posted this here. According to his tax break here, you've got the stumbling juice, candies, salty snacks, cakes. Apparently, Trudeau's favorably polling among stumbling juice fans and junk food addicts have risen considerably. And those who eat cake, let them eat cake. This one's funny. We'll just play a few seconds of this. The reporter basically says Canadians are expecting the Conservatives to form government. And he just starts getting all weird, starts fidgeting.
How challenging is it for you to deal with the incoming US administration when so many in Canada, including the premiers, are expecting the Conservative federal government to form next year, to form government next year? And many of Trump's closest advisors are openly saying that they want you out and they want Mr. Poilievre in.
Well, first of all, Canadians get to decide who forms the next government, and
yeah, call election, schmuck. You're gone.
Despite what Conservatives may be hoping for, there's a lot of Canadians scratching their heads at some of the decisions Pierre Poilievre has been making.
Only the ones in your head, the imaginary ones in your head, Trudeau. If you notice, when she said that there, he looked down and he really spent, like, look, what's he looking? Oh, are my shoes tied? Oh, like, he's got no reason to look down there. He really didn't like this question. And then the fake smile comes in right there. That slimy, greasy smile that we all don't like. Hats off to that reporter, just sticking it to him. He needs to really feel it. Throughout this clip here, I just mute him. It's much better. He's talking about Trump and the situation, and you can see he is just looking like a defeated man. He knows he can't handle Trump. He just can't. He doesn't have the skills, the training, the ability. He's not a businessman who's been through the ringer. He's a loser. He's a silver spoon loser. Next up, we got this one from Table Salt. It says Breaking Canada adds only 94,000 jobs this year while bringing in 1.2 million people. Payroll employment fell in Canada in September, now only up 94,000 jobs year over year, while added 1.2 million through immigration. This is economic bad times. This is Trudeau's plan. I'm sure this is the WF plan. This is what they've planned from the start. We'll own nothing and be happy. Next up, we got this loser too, David Eby. He's in no rush to help family budgets despite insisting the need is urgent. That's right. In his campaign, he offered everyone $1,000. The whole election was just a big joke. Ballots hidden in people's garages. Certain things weren't counted. They forgot to count those ones. Suddenly he wins even though he was losing. And now what does he do? He gives himself a pay raise and all his buddies around him pay raises. Absolute disgrace. Loser. And with that, we've got this. So government.exe is corrupt. I feature this guy's X account on here quite a bit. Always posting great stuff. This is a real problem we have in Canada. You can see here. So he's pointing out both Anita Nand and Jagmeet Singh have blocked him. And as he says in here, it's fine if they want to do it on their personal accounts, but these are government accounts. You can see these silver ones here. Those are government funded accounts, which means taxpayer money paying for these, yet they're blocking people. This is not cool. Like, this should be against the law. Finally, got the Green Party here on X making a statement. The Green Party of Canada stands in solidarity for the dignity, rights, and self-determination of the Palestinian people. On this International Day of Solidarity with Palestine, we acknowledge ongoing unlawful occupation of Palestinian territory. So the Green Party has come out very clearly, they've done this before, of Palestinians. They're not trying to toe the line. They're not trying to support both sides or be neutral. They are very much only supporting Palestinians. There we have it. Jagmeet Singh's career is over. I've mentioned this a few weeks ago when he was standing out there with the workers and said, I'll do anything for workers. I'll always vote for workers. I won't support Trudeau if it goes against workers. Pierre Poilievre's calling your bluff now, Jagmeet. You're screwed.